What is going on, YouTubers? It's the Natural Born Driller, and welcome everyone to Impact Wrestling Review, the show from October 6th, 2020. I'm guessing they were in Nashville, Tennessee. So, and I guess that's where they've been at this whole time, since to this whole pandemic going on, folks. Nashville, Tennessee. Um, so Josh Matthews and Matt Ray was on commentary, but you wouldn't know that because after tonight's show, the commentary audio unfortunately was in and out for mostly all the night. And I mean, not that I care about Josh Matthews on commentary anyways, especially what he said stupidly earlier, which I didn't catch up to when I get to it. But yeah, it's whatever. Um, but before I get to Pack Wrestling's show that happened earlier tonight, May first, uh, quick a quick results scan pertains to what happened this past Saturday. When it to Impact Wrestling, Impact Plus presents Victory Road 2020. So what to do right now, I'll put the results of it, just to remind people that the show itself took October 3rd, I believe it was, I'm assuming, of 2020 on a Saturday. I go with the though, which I'm going to do right now. Unless I'm thinking about October 24th, which is to NXT Takeover 31. So they did. Okay, yeah, October 3rd, 2020. Yeah, I'm probably thinking about the of October that Impact. I mean that NXT excuse me did the Takeover show, which I heard it was a good show. Let's see, or since Takeover shows, you know, there's never been a bad show of Takeovers. But not that I care about it. Anyways, because I don't watch anymore. Anyways, but I heard nothing but good things about Takeover 31. But that's not what this is about. This is about what happened on October 3rd, 2020, on the Saturday night. Impact Wrestling did on Impact Plus or Victory Road 2020, and that's what you see at the Subway Studios, which I'm assuming that's part. It's the same the same view, same city that been doing the shows since the pandemic happened. But the match was the Rascals, as in defeating Triple XL in a tag team match, which it was Adrian Romero and Larry. And I thought the match was I thought the opening match was good. Second match was Brian Myers defeating Tommy Dreamer in a singles match. I didn't really pay attention to the match that much. Didn't really care about the match that much, not because of Tommy. It has nothing to do with Tommy Dreamer. It has everything to do with Brian Myers. But based on how it was too, while I was doing something else, it did look like a good match, a good competitive match. But I still didn't care because at the end of the day, it's Brian Myers. William Mack defeated Royal Jewel via countout in the Impact Exhibition Championship match, which it was Ori Rajul issuing an open challenge to anyone that was going to accept his challenge. And when Mac did accept the challenge, and the match was pretty good. But like I said before, it was worried that Ori was going to lose this match, which is a pinfall or submission, because it was be he's going to either get himself counted out or he's going to get himself disqualified. And he did get himself counted out, in an accidental way that happened. But I knew coming to it that he was not going to lose the belt, and I was right. Dashwood with Kim from K, her personal photographer assistant in a way, versus feeding Jordan Grace. Something I get to point out on the show, in this match itself between Jordan Grace and Tim Dashwood, besides the match was split, was not better than the second match. It's not even better than the first match. It was one of the weakest matches they ever had. It's because how they match. But basically, Jordynee Grace's hair extensions. Not one, not two, but three of her hair extensions fell out of her hair. I find that pretty funny. Oh, come on, Jordynee Grace, man. You don't need to wear hair extensions in a wrestling match. I don't mind you if you wear it when you go out. Your husband, Jonathan Gresham. But we're wearing hair extensions, in a wrestling match. Come on. Hell, even WWE means done that too. Natai did it before. I can't remember who else did too, but come on. There's no need for wearing any hair extensions in a wrestling match. It's just ridiculous. But yeah, but like I said, match 2 by way, that's we're gonna win, and that was Heath and Rhino defeats Reno Scum of Alan Dorso and Buster the Legend in an unsanctioned tag team match. Match itself I thought was pretty good. It really showcased of never lost a step after being away from the ring. And yeah, I just thought it was a good match. Trey Miguel defeat Moose, a match that was added into the match on this very show. Where the match itself was pretty good, with Moose being distracted by EC3, which led to Trey getting the win on Moose. And that was basically it. Josh Alexander with Ethan Page in his corner versus Alex Shelley with Sabin in his corner versus Ace Austin with Madman Fulton in his corner, versus Machine Gun Carl Anderson with the Big OG Doc Gallows in his corner in a 4-way match. And Josh Alexander got the win in this match. Match itself was pretty good. Pretty excellent match. One of my favorite matches on the card here. And I thought it delivered. Deanna Perrazzo, defender of Impact Championship title, defeating Susie. The match I thought was pretty solid. Deanna Perrazzo was being accompanied by Kimberly, and Susie was being accompanied by Kylie Ray. And there you go. And finally, the main event was Eric Young defending his Impact World Championship, defeating Eddie Edwards. The match on that I didn't care much about, but I care more about this match than that I did with a reference to watching a Time Dreamer and Brian Myers match. But I got into the match reference to how good Eddie Edwards as a wrestler he can be. I just wish he would look like a wrestler instead of looking like a hobo. Just saying. But yeah, basically this was obviously it was going to lead to a EY retaining here as he should, and he did. Now, unfortunately, he didn't get to beat up Edwards more after the match because Rich Swann stopped to stop him, and now with all this that I mentioned with Chesapeake Road, which I thought the show was good. It was like Impact Wrestling, but with more wrestling that basically focused more on the wrestling than the segments. And I thought again Impact Wrestling's Road that happened on Plus was a pretty good show that I give it an 8 out of 10. And we move on to what happened on this first show on a Tuesday, which happened earlier tonight. The show on Access TV, also on Swiss TV, the show from October 6, 2020. For this Impact Wrestling review itself, here come the results. But before we do, let's change the avatar from here to this. And with this with this discussion with the TNA World Championship title, last strap itself, that's being by the referee. I'm gonna talk about that whole thing with pertains to the funeral of the TNA World Championship belt that was orchestrated EC3 once I get to it. And trust me, it's gonna be worth too as well. So let's get started. They show the opening happening at Free Road. But since the whole thing with Eric Young versus Eddie Edwards, and then the whole thing with Rich Swann, excuse me. And we get to the opening show of a match. The opening match was a rematch, which it was announced on on the road. You know, of Tommy Dreamer versus Brian Myers again. So there you go. Again, I didn't care to see this match. Again, um, I had no interest watching the match, and I didn't. I watched most of it, but I really didn't care much about the match at all because it's Brian Myers. Why should I care about Brian Myers' match? So in the end, Brian Myers gets a killing stick, and Tommy Dreamer the killing stick causes him to be disqualified. He continues to beat Tommy Dreamer with the killing stick until immediately referees, securities, Scott the Boy come out there to save Tommy Dreamer from Brian Myers. Really? But also kind of funny that, you know, weeks ago, Eric Young did the exact same thing to the Deaners, beating them up very badly. And it took referees, securities, and Scott Demoy so long to come out to do something about it. But when Brian Myers do this to Tommy Dreamer, they had to immediately come out there to save Tommy Dreamer. It's so ridiculous. I find that very funny actually. But you know what this is going to lead to? It's going to lead to Tommy Dreamer versus Brian Myers at Bound for Glory. It's going to probably be an old school rule match. You know, like that game. Maybe I'll probably keep up Brian Myers in that match. But we shall see. About the opening show is where the whole thing problem happened where the audio of the commentary happened, where we couldn't hear it. For most of the nights we couldn't hear them, but there were others. There was also most moments that we could hear them because they was fixing the audio. They was taking care of these technical difficulties of the audios on commentary. Before we get to the EC3 funeral for the TNA World Title belt, we see Moose at the gym searching for high and low for his title and everything, or just EC3 because he's doing the funeral thing for the TNA World Title, and he's been teasing too about what he's going to do with the belt, but which we'll get to when we get to the segment. Johnny Bravo meets up with several Russell House friends to inform them that the wedding is costing him a lot of money. He needs to help to pay for it. Like, who gives a fuck anyways? And people are there by the showers, the dealers, Falaba, obviously because he's the best man, John E. Bravo, Gracie Steve. So yeah, they're still doing this whole thing, that again, anyways, and apparently this led to where there was something going on with the dealers with Johnny Swinger and Crazy Steve, where Johnny says something about this young cat with me and everything, and then Crazy Steve says he's 107 years old, and I'm thinking to myself, huh? But anyways, it's we'll get this later on. We'll get to. Roy Marshall comes out. He does another open challenge for the Expedition Chapter title, which he announced. I mean, he announced it. Impact Wrestling announced it on Victory Road 2 after his match against Willie Mack. Then he was going to do another one, and he's basically waiting for a new challenger to face Roy Marshall for the title. And out comes Willie Mack, and like, whoa, wait a minute, we just seen this at Victory Road already. Why are we doing this again? And then all of a sudden, Ray Russell says, no, I already faced you. You're not. I'm facing someone new. So someone new, come out here, please. And like, thank you, please, because we just seen this match already at Victory Road. There's no need to see another rematch on the show here, which I'll get to when I get to it as well, folks. I was really heated watching the show tonight. That's because I couldn't join the panel to have a good time, but still. This show is driving me nuts tonight. But anyways, so we get a new challenger coming out, right? And it's Jordynee Grace. So you're telling me after Jordynee Grace becomes Impact Knockouts champion this year, and unfortunately she didn't get the best run because of the pandemic happened, and then she loses to Deonna Purrazzo in two great matches that she had, one from Summerversary and the other one on Impact Wrestling, which is to Emergence, and then she goes to a program with Tina Dashwood, have a series of matches with her, and I will move her to the X Division Championship match. We're basically move her to a new division, the X Division. And I see myself, oh no, they're gonna do another Test of Blanchard thing here again. I'm like, what? I thought I was taking my first when I saw this. So, Rick Rajul was playing around as match began. Mac was distracted. With Rajul, they're playing to the war with the belt and everything. And then all of a sudden, John Grace goes rolling up and gets 3 count in the win. And I see myself, what? Jordan Grace is the new champion, which I was fine with. I was fine with that, folks. But then Rick Rajul says, no, this doesn't count because it's the title was not really on the line. And I said, wait a minute, I thought it was on the line because they advertised it on Victory Road that on this very show it's going to be another championship open challenge thing. And now that they're 180 on it, now that they're backtracking it. Are you kidding me? So then, so basically the role was changed. So Joker did win, but it wasn't for the title. And like, this is bullshit. And I know people, I know the panel, from earlier, they didn't like the idea of Jordan Grace, winning the belt. I was fine with that. I didn't mind that. But then it didn't happen anyway because they decided to change their minds. But Rick Rajul basically says, it wasn't really for the title. You won the match, but it was not for the title. So he goes backstage and he's confronted by Scott Moy, who's at the gorilla position, and basically Scott Moy was basically playing sarcasm with him, that saying, oh yeah, you're on the roll and everything, blah 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 and everything, and you know what, you're gonna be defend your title against Trey, TJP, Chris Bay, William Mack, and Jordynee Grace. So it's gonna be a 6-way Exhibition Championship match. It's gonna be a 6-way scramble match. And I can't wait to see how they book this match. To me, I would book it to be an Ultimate X match for Bound for Glory. And with Jordynee Grace being here, I don't mind that. But at the same time, we want to talk about downgrade for Jordynee Grace. I mean, I'm pretty sure it's a mean something for Jordynee Grace. And I bet no knockouts has ever been X champion before. Not of my knowledge. I don't think that's ever happened before. I mean, it would have been Tessa Blanchard last year. They decided to go with Ace Austin instead, which was fine too. In fact, let me go to the history of it. Of title rings. Let's see. Okay, nothing here about women's knockouts from the past. Not even Kim didn't get this opportunity. Not that either. But I look at the list of the title of who did. And nothing here about any other knockouts in the past has ever gone to the title. Okay, yeah, and about any women's knockouts, I should say. So if Jordynee Grace is to win it, she'll be the first. And I'm pretty sure that's gonna happen Bound for Glory. When we get to Bound for Glory. But I didn't have a problem with it. But and obviously, uh, I don't think it's fair. Because Remington mentioned this. In the when he was with with the panel. Um, I don't think it's fair to compare Jordynee Grace, title winning X title belt to Dave Arquette winning the belt from the W because for one thing, Dave Arquette was not even a wrestler. Dave Arquette was a wrestling fan, but he was a wrestler. Jordan Grace, on the other hand, is a wrestler. Um, but the point that he was making is that Jordan Grace is a woman winning the belt. It means it's more of a joke than it's more of a joke of Jordan Grace winning a men's belt than Arquette winning the WWE belt. That's just me. Um, but yeah, that's gonna be Bound for Glory. That's gonna be the match, and we'll see what they do with that. Um, I'll, it's gonna be a good match either way. But yeah, there you go. That's basically a match that's set up for Bound for Glory. And I can't wait to see how they book the match too. The 6-way Rumble match. We go backstage and we see Falaba who finds Hernandez, says that he needs money to help out for Johnny Bravo's wedding. And something with the coffee, whatever, or some kind of drink, whatever, I don't remember what it was, that Hernandez ends up being spilled. No, but I saw Falaba spilled with some drinks on him. So this led to Hernandez, taking a shower in the lawn, which we'll get to that later. So there you go. We get a rematch from Vitro between Triple XL, Acer Romero, and Larry D versus the Rascals, Destin Wentz. And I said to myself, why? Why? For those who watched the match on Impact Plus, watch Victory Road, if you watch this match again, I didn't care about this match at all, folks. I didn't pay attention to the match that much. So we had two rematches, and we almost had one rematch too as well, where it takes to bring back something the open challenge of Raju, but they the Golden and Grace instead. So we almost had three rematches on the show here. I say to myself, why are you doing rematches? Like, do you have any other things you could have done on the show here besides rematches? And sure enough, this match happened, and the Rascals wins again. But yeah, I don't care about this match. Who cares? And also, I guess they're gonna be doing something where it's a Triple XL or a break up because on Victory Road, AC Romero was hit by Larry Diaz in the match, or AC Romero hit Larry Diaz. I'm trying to remember how it happened, but it was like a miscommunication from Victory Road, and then we had another miscommunication on the show here again. This time it was Larry D hitting AC Romero. I guess they're gonna be working a tag team of Triple XL. I don't know. Maybe that's what they're going for. I don't know what they're doing, but we have to wait and see what they do with that. Or anyway, we're gonna find out what they're gonna do. Excuse me, folks. Sorry for that. Falaba continues search for Hernandez's money, and he's trying to take his cash and everything while he's in the shower. Luckily, he does, and then that's it. So Falaba got Hernandez's money, so they could help pay for Johnny Bravo's wedding. And like anyone gives a fuck about it. We get to Rich Swan's update with his doctor by Jimmy Jacobs, excuse me, Jimmy Havoc. Hope he's doing well, by the way, despite everything that happened over the whole speaking out more thing and going to rehab, whatever. I hope Jimmy Havoc's doing well. But it was Jacobs, checking out my Rich Swan with his doctor, and see how he's doing on his recovery and everything, which he was doing well in the background. So he's doing well and everything. And you get a word with the tender. All of a sudden, Eric Young, who disguised himself as a nurse, not a woman's nurse, not like Joe Heath Ledger from the Dark Knight. Because males could be nurses too. With the nurse uniform, with their own nurse uniform. But yeah, it was EY disguised himself as a nurse, attacks Rich Swan. He's attacking the leg of that's supposed to be repaired and everything. It wasn't that much of a beating on the leg, but Eric Young was basically getting back at Rich Swan for sticking nose of his business, which I'm They did because because at the end of the day, Rich Swann helped Eddie Edwards by you know for for chance to EY tried to take him out for good, but it's but hey, look at the bright side. Eddie Edwards was on the show today on from I mean was not on the show from earlier tonight. That's what I meant to say. Eddie Edwards was not on the show from earlier tonight. That's what I was trying to say. So, there you go. But yeah, the Sunday I thought it was crazy. It was great. It was crazy good. Uh, Mean Gia Miller, according to Sam Khan from the Robot Way, that's how Sam Khan called Gia Miller. Mean Gia Miller. um, he talks to the most machine guns, the Impact World Titan champions. They're going up against Ace Austin and Madman Fulton. It's just a regular tag team match. Alex Shelley says that Ace Austin reminds him of himself when he was 23. And then also the Brothers comes out of nowhere, which is Machine Gun Carl Anderson and Big LG Doc Dallas interrupting the interview. And not much to say about that. I basically grown a little bit chance to the Good Brothers. So there you go. And we'll get to that main event match later on. We get to Rosemary and Ty Valkyrie versus Kira Hogan and Trish Steels. I just thought it was pretty decent. Kira Hogan was getting her ass kicking the match, probably, folks. But by Ty Valkyrie, most likely for Ty Valkyrie and for Rosemary. Tasha Steel's got some offense back too, but Kira also looks strong too. Rotates her offense as well. While this match on too, Havoc and Nabila from backstage were watching on. Watching basically twice watching on, I think, or maybe 3 times. I don't know. Who knows? Who's counting? In the end, it was Rosemary and Tasha Steelz. I mean, Rosemary and Ty Valkyrie to say defeating Hogan and Tasha Steelz in the match. Yeah, the match I thought it was decent. I enjoyed the match for what it was. The Deaners versus Crazy Steve and Giant Swinger. I didn't care about the match because of the Deaners. And the Deaners and sure enough, the Deaners won. Big fucking deal. We get a recap of what happened with Deanna Purrazzo's match with Susie, where after the match, Deanna Purrazzo took care of Susie, destroying her arm, breaking her arm, while Cabrillo was being held back by Kimberly. And then we get to Mean Gina Miller interviews Smiley Kylie Ray, and Kylie Ray says that she's furious Deanna Purrazzo did to her best friend and everything, that she couldn't do anything about it. And Kimberly comes out of nowhere and interrupts the interview, basically taunting Kylie Ray, sticking up to Susie and everything, and blah blah blah. Kylie Ray also she loses her mind and beats the living daylights out of Kimberly, and she stopped and then she couldn't believe what she did. After what she put all of her rage and frustration out of Kimberly, which I'm assuming is probably lead to a match next week between Kimberly versus Kylie Ray. And speaking of which, next week is going to be also Nevaeh and Havoc versus Rosemary and Valkyrie versus Kimber Hogan and Tasha Steelz in a 3-way knockout tag match. And I cannot wait to see that too. But yeah, but Kylie Ray, she looked in shock. She couldn't believe what she did because she's always Miss Glee too. She's always a nice woman, a nice girl, nice lady, and what she did was not nice. If that's bad. Like how Susie always says, that's bad. But there you go, folks. But hey, that's good. That that Kylie Ray is showing some mean streak. She's showing she's showing anger. She's got to show anger when she's going up against Deanna Purrazzo, because Deanna Purrazzo, Virtuoso, the Fujiwara armbar submission specialist, the most greatest technical women's wrestler, is someone that everybody needs to take seriously. And hopefully, she does take so seriously once we get to Bound for Glory. So that's all I got to for that. Scott Boy is ready to talk to Heath. Scott Boy says he wasn't sold on Heath in the beginning, but now he sees Heath is worthy of a part of Impact of the family of Impact Wrestling. Heath says this got them that his brother, who is a lawyer, helped him create his contract, and Scott Moore, to create some sort of negotiation with Heath, with his contract, everything, especially with how much Heath expects Impact Wrestling to pay him. Heath informed him that he's been out of work since April, and he deserves a decent earning. And Satomura informs him that he did a lot of bad things coming into the company, which he's including sneaking into his anniversary, hurting the talent, running the whole hashtag Heat for Impact ads without management's permission, and he throws Heath's contract up in the air and then leaves the office. Basically, it was they had some agreement that turned into a disagreement, and um I thought it was intriguing. I thought it was all good. And then also we get to wait for us outside the office to hear some good news from Heath, and then Heath gets some bad news like that it didn't work out as well as that Rhino thought it was going to work out. Basically Heath was kind of pro on Rhino about this whole thing that it didn't go well. That Heath doesn't have anything good to say. Got the boy doesn't have anything good to say about Impact Wrestling. Doesn't have anything good to say to Rhino himself. And then he mentions about he went from having a match against Drew McIntyre for who's WWE champion to just looking for a job in wrestling, saying that basically this is all Rhino's fault. He doesn't he didn't get a contract or anything, and he tells Rhino, "See you, Terry." Basically calling Rhino by his real name because who don't know, Terry is his real name. I forgot his last name, by the way. Maybe not it. Nah, I'm one of those people that you know that don't know. But I'll bring it up right now. All right, it's Terrence, which Terry is short for Terrence. But it's Terrence Rito Gurin. Grievin. Grievin. I did tell his last name. But anyways, but yeah, this is intense. This was intriguing. It's going. I think it's going to lead to something. Bound for glory. Now, um, how it's going to be played out, I guess we're going to find out. You're going to find out. But yeah, I thought it was good though. I was invested because it was again Heath is still a free agent. He's thinking about his kids. He's got kids to feed, and we gotta see how this whole thing is gonna work out. Where eventually he will get a contract with Impact Wrestling, and everything will be all good. We shall see. It was good though. I enjoyed it. I want they do with this more. Okay, folks, sit back, relax, fasten your seatbelts because it's time to rant. EC3 is standing outside with the TNA World Heavyweight Championship, the right strap, the one that Moose carries with him because he is the TNA World Heavyweight Champion. And he informs Moose that it's time to break away from the title. And after that chilling statement, he basically he's standing on a I'm assuming a bridge, which it should at this point it should be a bridge because of what he did. He he had the he threw it down off the bridge into the ocean. It could be an ocean, it could be a lake, it could be wherever. The point is it fell in the water. And then EC3 said, "Free Moose." And I say to myself, that's it. I'm thinking to myself, maybe they'll save a little more of this later on. Maybe before the show ends, after the main event match, where we're going to see something, hit a little hit in the way of it, where Moose is gonna officially find the belt war, or something, something a little more into it, or change this whole the TNA World Heavyweight Championship title funeral that EC3 was orchestrating, and he's been building up for weeks now. Where he's gonna burn the belt, he's gonna um he's gonna destroy the belt, he's gonna basically kill the legacy of the TNA World Heavyweight Championship belt. Because it's not TNA wrestling anymore. It's Impact Wrestling now, and it's gonna be the funeral for the TNA World Heavyweight Championship. The funeral of the TNA World Heavyweight Championship that Moose was carrying with him until the pandemic happened. What we got instead was that EC3 just drew the belt off a bridge, and that was it. We didn't get any more conclusions after that. We didn't get no meanwhile after that. That was it. Like that's it. This was the funeral EC3 orchestrated for the TNA World Heavyweight Championship belt. I thought it was gonna go out with this whole segment with EC3 doing a funeral service for the TNA World Heavyweight Championship belt and everything. Nope, we didn't get any of that. What they did here was the most cheapest thing I've ever seen. This wasn't a funeral. To me, this was garbage. What was the fucking point of having EC3 turn the belt, teasing what he's going to be doing with it, offering the door over of a bridge, and like, this is how EC3 controls the narrative. If anything, this is how Impact Wrestling controlled the narrative of EC3's segments. This was a waste. This was a waste of my time. I'm pretty sure it was a waste of everyone else's time. We all thought we was have some kind of funeral segments on the show, especially they teased it. In fact, what they did at Victory Road was more of a funeral of the TNA World Heavyweight Championship belt than they did on this show. EC3 ain't controlling his own narrative on Impact Wrestling. If anything, Impact Wrestling is controlling EC3's narrative about what they did here. Basically, what EC3 did here was controlling the narrative of what Stone Cold Steve Austin did to Rock's championship belt in 90 what that was 97. And also EC3 EC3 controlling the narrative of what WF did when The Rock took the Stone Cold Steve Austin's belt from 1999. That's what it was. EC3 was copying the narrative of WF storylines with Stone Cold Steve Austin and The Rock. That was a waste of a segment. It was short to the point. How's that a funeral? That wasn't a funeral. That was garbage. Again, I thought EC3 was controlling his own narrative. Just how he's controlling his own narrative. And once again, this is Impact Wrestling controlling the narrative of EC3's segments. You build up EC3 on the belt, plan a funeral, chasing to destroy the belt, and he didn't do that. He said he just drew the belt off a bridge. What the fuck was that? Either you go all the way with it or don't. But I bet one thing. I bet you one thing they'll go all out when that wingman comes up for Rosemary and Johnny Bravo more than they thought about going all out for this TNA World Heavyweight Championship funeral that they failed to do. Whoever booked that segment needs to be fucking fired. Because then, like, if this person who's on the narrative of this segment did not think about trying to try to do an actual funeral segment for the title, where it was going to eventually lead to Moose confronting EC3. I thought it was going to lead to. I thought it was going to lead to where Moose is eventually was going to finally get to EC3, but we didn't get any of that. At least have Moose go after EC3 on the bridge or something to try to see the World Championship, and they couldn't do that either. You wasted my time. You wasted the viewers' time. Why even do it? What's the point of this? That was garbage. Either you go all the way with it or don't do it at all. Ken Shamrock feels really bad what he did to Eddie Edwards. I see myself, huh? Why does he feel bad about what he did to Eddie Edwards? He's Ken Shamrock. He's the world's most dangerous man. How do the world's most dangerous man feel bad for what he did to Eddie Edwards? You're the world's most dangerous man. You don't feel bad for anyone, especially when we tend to want to beat up on Eddie Edwards. Who gives a fuck about Eddie Edwards? Wow, just wow. And why didn't they mention it's just frustrating me. I'm still frustrated about what they did with the whole thing with E3 too. Why didn't they do this also on Victory Road too? Because Sami Callihan on Victory Road explained why Ken Shamrock did what he did to Eddie Edwards. We're just turning heel. But the whole thing of Ken Shamrock is not the old Ken Shamrock that he used to be, and he still blames for what happened at Anniversary where the World Famous Tag Team then beat the North for the TNA for the Impact World Title. World Tag Team titles, I meant to say. The Impact World Tag Team titles. That's what I meant to say. Now I'm sorry. I'm still pissed off about what they did the whole H3 segment. That's why I'm into TNA World Title. Oh man, a lot went wrong on the show tonight. But Sami Callihan did tell Ken Shamrock that what he did was the right thing to do. Basically, what I'm taking in this whole thing is that Callihan is controlling Ken Shamrock's narrative, like how impersonally controlling the narrative of EC3 segments, the TNA World Heavyweight Championship funeral. But basically, Ken Shamrock was being slapped into sentences and everything, and then the same kind of tells him to attack the security guard, and Ken Shamrock does it. And I'm pretty sure Ken Shamrock by next week he's going to feel bad for attacking the security guard too, like he feel bad for what he did to Edwards last week, right? This makes no sense, folks. This thing with Sami Callihan and Ken Shamrock, this whole thing with the heel turn makes no fucking sense at all. Just like this whole TNA World Heavyweight Championship funeral thing that they did for EC3 made no sense either. Clearly, folks, by the tone of my voice, I'm still upset about that. Impact will announce some matches next week. Not just dream match, Nevaeh and Hat versus Rosemary and Ty Valkyrie versus Kiro and Tasha Steele. Kelly Ray will go 1-on-1 against Kimberly. Madman Fulton will go facing the big LG Doc House. And plus we'll be seeing part 3 of Rich Swan's Road to Recovery. And I apologize for the bird sounding that. I apologize for that. Main event time. A. Austin and Madman Fulton versus Alex Shelley and Chris Sabin. Basically the world champions, the Motor City Machine Guns. Excuse me. Sorry, folks. I got to keep my voice a little bit. This was a non-tag team match, by the way. The match itself was pretty good. I enjoyed the match. It was pretty good. And they've got some outside influences from. Also, we had two miscommunications from Ace Austin's part on Mammoth Fulton. And then, yeah, and like I said, matches end up pretty good. Also, we get outside influences from the north. I say to myself, wait a minute, why are those coming out? What? I mean, they were getting an opportunity at Bound for Glory. And I get they want to build it on the tag team drama for Bound for Glory as well. But I did not understand why they had the North had to come out here. Probably the North is Josh Alexander and Ethan. And then also we got the Good Brothers coming out. Carl Anderson and Top Gallows. And then also and Mammoth Fulton, for whatever reason, he tried to go after Doc Gallows. And I asked myself, why is he trying to go after him for? He's in the middle of a tag team match. A minute tag team match should be focusing on winning. And then he got what he deserved. Doc Gallows punched him or a big bull. I don't remember what he did. And then the Motion Machine Guns the finishing team moves. We're out there doing going for the Rude Awakening with Sabin going for the body splash. Got the win the Machine Guns got the win. And I didn't understand the segment. I didn't understand outside references at all. And this is still to protect the tag team match. I mean, this is the way to protect the tag team of Ace Austin and Matt Fulton. But wait, and I'm thinking. Well, in fact, I'll save it for when we get close to Bound for Glory on that week. I'll save it when I do the preview. But I find it strange that they haven't also and Mammoth Fulton being a tag team. Not mind them being a tag team, but they're not really much of a tag team because, for one thing, Mammoth Fulton is supposed to be some type of bodyguard for Ace Austin, and then they decided to go a different direction because after the anniversary, where they're not they're being more of a tag team. But the problem is, I can't remember if they even won a tag team match together. Because every time they're teaming up, they always lose. I don't know. I just don't understand what's going on with that whole situation. But this is the way to protect them of losing a tag team match. I thought that was a dumb way to do it. So I guess Doc Gallows punch or kick where he did to Matt Fulton was enough for the Motion Machine Guns to pick up the win. Yeah, but obviously with the finishing tag team move. I don't know. But that was the show, folks. That was the show. And it happened after the show, wait, folks. That was it. It just went up here. Which again, I thought they was gonna do something with E3 and Moose, or maybe with Moose trying to up the belt in the river, wherever, the lake, the ocean, wherever E3 what was that when he tossed the belt over the beach? I don't know, folks. They could have done better with this. And they didn't do it. It was lazy. It was not thought of pretty well. And I'm saying to myself now, what's the point of EC3? What's the point now of EC3's character? I don't know. I believe there were 6 matches, folks. Six matches. Excuse me. Matches. Matches to light. You know. Oh god. But yeah. But this is Toma Wrestling was 6 matches, especially that one match that Raju had with Jordan Grace. Yes, that was considered a match. My overall show from the show for the show from October 6th, 2020. I'm gonna give this show a 5 out of 10. This show was a bad show based on how they booked the show. Two rematches I didn't care if to see. Looking with Jordan Grace. I'm not mad at Jordan Grace. I'm not mad. Wait, Raju. I'm mad at the booking of how they did it. And then the whole role of EC3 did with the whole TNA World Title belt being tossed over the river of the bridge into the water or whatever. Where they were at. I was let down. That was garbage. They didn't think none of it. They were not being very creative of it. And at the end of the day, it was a waste of time. They must have not had not done that. They might as well not have East Street steal the belt from Moose. They might as well not have done that at all. So yeah, 5 out of 10. It was a solid show, but it was still bad. And there you go, folks. I'm done. Right being said, thank you for watching. If this is the first time you're experiencing yours truly, Let's Born Thriller, right here on YouTube. If you haven't subscribed to me yet, please hit that subscribe button. If you like what I did here, to all my supporters, thank you. Hit the like and hit the like. And for all the haters that dislike this video, this review itself, to all you haters, thank you. You're my motivation. Hit this, and either way, thank you all for viewing, learning, along with me, yours truly, as Natural Born Thriller gave you Impact Wrestling review from from October 6th, 2020. We're not September anymore, so you all stay well, stay safe, take care of yourself every corner of the world, wear your mask. God bless one another, love one another, live in peace and harmony for us all. I am out here for now. For It's Natural Born Thrillers, peace on the streets. Take care.